It's easy to say how this is good intentions to pay respects for those who's no longer here, and to appreciate what was given to us by accepting that in spirit they're around to still teach the real value. And in many ways, comes the tributes to the ways paved for the new steps, to follow up on the big decisions, starting with the small choices that influence the premises by impact, by longevity, by integrity, by legacy. Before all that comes to pass, it's about knowing how living in the moments that resonates and carries on with those who remembers what really matters most. Leaving marks wherever they went, leaving clues to the larger scope of the vision, leaving lessons to take into consideration that it ain't just about awards and medals, to say accomplishments made. The hopes of a brighter future with lasting effect, to provide the tools necessary to bring leagues of voices to come together to rally behind union to oppose division, to treasure every message, each statement, with lots more meaning than meets the ears. While the eyes are already looking towards the visuals to complement the saga, without corrosion overtaking the sight, enhancing direction. Lives of the many versus the lives of the few, though. The former usually wins the debate, so that rule gets bent on rare occasion. But given the heavy circumstances and taking losses is more questions. As each one continues to get younger, not being able to see their lives in full. What's being handled behind the scenes ultimately gets revealed to the public as opinions at times outweigh facts. Posthumous releases, projects, winnings, and of course the honorary mentions from murals to street names and then some. All these things to give them the boost in recognition when deceased. Truth of the matter is, wouldn't it make sense to recognize them when they were still alive? Blame the violence, blame the drugs, blame the beefs always cooking up to have one flip on another, just to say they call it hunger when it's just fast food to feed today's consumers. Yes, that plays a part in preying on those mentalities, praying for a way out to step into a new environment. But with the cost of old deals to market from that pain and struggle, whether it's a persona or not. So it's been brought up plenty, yet the hurricane keeps swinging back round like it's never-ending storms. Flooded with articles trying to cash in, calling first dibs for coming in last place. Grabbing the early bird headlines for coming the late bloomers on the scene. Trying to cut the big slice of the pie chart for the views, for the shares, for the clicks, just so that everybody can get a chance to buy into the rage of the hype. So then the outrage thrives in the mess for the wrong excitement established. Welcome back to the Colosseum. It's just Rome on a global scale. But then, in order to be more responsible with the info we're given, because we don't know all the details till the confirmation. Think about the legends that we praise for the work that gives them life to breathe life into our lives to keep going, to keep on living. Living or not. That's levels to the ethics that maneuvers around. Being able to run laps from falling into the traps that hinders progression. Even when digging those holes and people pigeonhole, like making the mistakes, dominant traits. Gotta allow growth. Gotta allow the recovery to take hold. It's the redemption story that's earned. Can't save them all. Can't talk sense into everyone. But once buried, they can't defend themselves. They can't set the record straight. Or they've had a prosperous life, they've lived out their dreams and succeeded. The problem with the situationships between the artist and the fandom pulled back further and look at it for what it really is, the entertainer and the entertained, the mainstays, the overnighters, when the audience feel the need to want to talk about entitlement, just because we're the ones, that's a huge part of making them known, or at least brought up in a convo to bring the attention to them. Yet, acting like we own them. It's already enough for labels to do that, especially from those with that intent. Our back and forth labels for major labels to archetype with the algorithm verbatim. We don't know them like that. We feel connected to them in some form or fashion, so when it hits us hardest, the best way to see them is, at the end of the day, human. Leave them be. Let them rest. They reminisce over you.